Hello and welcome back again to my channel. It's Caroline here. Happy 2023! Where is the time going, honestly? I am here today to talk to you about 2023, my own personal goals, but just it might also help you if you are considering the same situations such as property, financial goals, personal development, health, weight loss. So if any of these topics interest you, then maybe you want to stick around. The first thing I want to talk about is financial goals. I want to buy a property. I'm going to say it. I want to become a homeowner. It is predicted that there will be a correction in the market. I use the word correction instead of drop. But if you look at the analysts, and again, how do we know? We cannot predict the future, but they're all kind of saying the same thing. So JP Morgan and Credit Suisse are predicting a 10% drop in London prices. Why do I say London? Well, I live in London and I'd really love to buy somewhere in London. I'd like to get the best I could possibly get, but then at the same time, I don't believe in putting yourself in too much debt. But that's a personal decision based on all manner of income streams and what your predicted incomes are going to be. If you look at the agents, what they're saying in terms of the London market, they're it's a bit more wild. Some of them are saying that it's going to drop 6% in 2022, and other people are saying it's going to drop up to 12%. Now, some analysts have said unless it's a 15% drop, that's not really going to be like a full market correction. But to be honest, I want to be a property owner and I will take, if it's a 6% drop, I will take this. And someone else just gave me the advice that, yes, it's an investment, but if you also want it to be a home, then there are other considerations. But I do think it's going to be an interesting year. I'm going to be keeping my eye on the property market and seeing what's going on. And ideally, I would like to be a property owner. And if that's the case, then I will be bringing you through the process of it all. Building on from my financial goals, I want to make money from YouTube. I said it. I mean, I adore YouTube anyway. I think it's going to be so much fun in years to come to look back and just laugh probably at my former self, but also look back at the experiences. But in order to monetize YouTube, there are two conditions, and both of which have to be met. The first one is about subscriber base, which I passed, which is a minimum of 1,000 subscribers. The next is all to do with viewing time. So I am tantalizingly close to hitting the viewing time for monetization, which is 4,000 hours within the last 365 days. I'm like up in the 3,000s. So I'm just so close. And then it's going to be really interesting to see, like, if I do start earning, what actually is it going to be? Tiny? Is it going to be more than that? I know that there have been updates to the terms over the years, which have not been beneficial always to creators on YouTube. Health goals. So there's no point in life having any other goals if your health isn't really right. If you follow me on Instagram, you will know that I was diagnosed about a year ago with polycystic ovarian syndrome. And I didn't really know what that was. And I think I've been undiagnosed for about 10 years if I actually look at the symptoms that I had. And most people believe because it's polycystic ovarian syndrome, they think that you have to have cysts on your ovaries, but actually that's like one type of PCOS, and I actually have the insulin resistance. And like, what the hell does that mean? It means that my body can't metabolize sugar, but that causes a lot of problems. Particularly, I was like hurtling super fast towards type 2 diabetes. I was like super bloated. I couldn't lose weight. My mental health was in absolute pieces. And all of these things are linked to PCOS. And I have completely changed my diet, and like, you can just Google PCOS diet and it will tell you basically to remove simple carbohydrates in favor of complex carbohydrates. And what does that mean? It means like getting rid of white bread, rice, anything that's going to give a quick sugar hit. Even some root vegetables like carrots, they give a really quick sugar hit. Some fruits like bananas, nah. So then you have to go for complex carbohydrates, and that means that the sugar is reduced more gradually. And I think this is actually, even if you just wanted to feel lighter, less bloated, if it's just something that you want, it's actually a really good way to do it. Crucially, like, you don't have to cut out absolutely everything, because I mean, I don't, because life would just be too miserable. But then I do take supplements as well to help my body actually absorb sugar and try and balance the hormones that are completely just get out of whack with PCOS. There are so many different types of PCOS out there. So insulin resistance, the inability to metabolize sugar is one of them. Also like androgens. So if you got like hair on your face, which I get rid of, but oh my God, I just constantly get hair on my chin and like the delightful mustache, which I do get rid of, like that is another sign of it. If you get acne, and I got acne as well, hormonal acne, cystic acne, all these lovely, lovely words. So all these factors, if you like meet some of these, you don't actually have to have cysts on your ovaries. So that's really, really interesting. And it's an area that there's going to be lots more research. But overall, my goal in relation to this is to keep going with my weight loss journey. I've been really, really lucky. And also really important for weight loss is if you're going to go to the gym, I realized that doing high intensity, which I loved, by the way, was just really bad for my hormones because it brought me up and then it crashed me down. And then my body was like then in like a fight or flight situation and was actually trying to gain more weight because it thought it was in a bad situation. Whereas slow weighted resistance training workouts, oh my God, they do amazing things, and they're also really good for your mental health as well. So all these things I didn't even know before I got diagnosed with PCOS, and it has actually changed my life for the better. So that's a really positive thing. So this year would not be any other year if I didn't have travel goals. And honestly, COVID, apart from, you know, the mass people dying and terror about family members, I missed travel so much. And you'll know I do a lot of travel videos because I have such a passion for learning about different places, bringing you like the stories behind the places. I just find it so amazing. So what's in my travel diary? Okay, I have Warsaw coming up, and that is going to be interesting. I've never been to Poland before, so I want to actually do some research and make a decent video of Warsaw. Going to Naples as well. And I have heard, so okay, when I was 14, I went on a school trip to Sorrento and the Isle of Capri and did Pompeii as well. So I have been in the area before, but I mean, I was 14 then, I'm not 14 anymore. So it's been quite a while. So I'm interested to see, like, I have actually heard mixed reviews about Naples, and I'm just going there with a complete open mind. I'm going to be very honest with you about what I think of Naples when I go there. Hopefully it'll be really positive, but I'm not going to hold back if I don't think so either. And then also have Malaga in the diary, and I'm excited about that. Then there's a few other places that I really, really want to go to this year, but nothing else is physically booked. So, but I have some ideas in my head. And also, if you have any advice, or if you are thinking of going to a particular area, let me know. Like last year, my Morocco series, honestly, it really, really helped in my YouTube. They just seemed to really capture people's imagination. And I think it's because Morocco is such a beautiful country, and it's really quite easy to get to, and it's very affordable, as in you can get really good quality 5-star hotels at really decent prices, or at least you could last year. I'm assuming it's going to be the same this year. I did 3 videos on those trips to Morocco, and it was all booked via TUI. And with TUI, it was like really, really good because they do kind of a discount, and then periodically, like in different sales, they'll give you like a code to use the checkout, and that gives you another percentage off as well. So I highly recommend, if you're considering going places, to look at TUI. And that is not sponsored, that is my own genuine opinion. I also want to build my brand on YouTube, because I started, and I have so many interests and passions, and I wanted to share that. But then I know strategically with YouTube, when I look at other accounts that are super successful that I wish to emulate, they're more niche. So I definitely want to focus, I think, a lot on my travel, because that's where a huge passion comes from. But also then just some videos where getting to know me, getting to know my life. I mean, you've seen through my travel videos, you've seen my friends, you've seen my other half, Fabian. So I definitely want to build my YouTube, and also I'm probably going to have to niche down a bit, but I still want to keep the personal relationship with you guys. In the last year, so many of you have come to follow me, and thank you so much. And I really enjoy sharing, and also when your comments, all of those, any questions you have, I love engaging. I try to engage with every single comment that I get, and that is great. So I definitely want to build not only the financial aspect of YouTube, but also like the interpersonal, the engagement, and just put out content that I'm proud of and that it's interesting to watch. In terms of negotiating, and there's lots of things in life you can negotiate, whether it's your salary, or even just keeping it up with inflation. I thought that this book would be fantastic for me, so my other half got it for me for Christmas, which is Never Split the Difference, Negotiating as if your life depended on it. Now, I know that has some anxiety related connotations, but I do think that this book is going to be very, very good for me. I've already started it, and it's very, very practical. This is a former FBI hostage negotiator, so I think this is someone who has the negotiation expertise in order to help. So this is very important to me, and maybe you'll get some benefit out of it as well. Then I also have this book, which I've had it for a while and I keep coming back to it, but I actually need to, it's one you can dip in and out of, but I actually just want to read it start to finish, make some notes on it. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. Of course, we all have emotions, and it's about how to get them to work in your favor while not also being a robot and making yourself too masculine, in particularly if you work in a male dominated industry. It's about harnessing your emotions for the better, but not also becoming like a potential bloke or a robot in order to fit in. Let me know your thoughts. So these are 2 books that I highly recommend. I also just want 2023 to be a year where I don't make the same mistakes as previous years. I mean, we all say that, don't we? But one mistake I'm going to talk to you about is I was coming in to an airport, Dublin airport, and I completely forgot to go and collect my bag, which, don't ever make the same mistake. I cannot believe, like, you know, when you're in the airport and you see like cases left on a carousel and you think, who would go through an airport and not collect their case? Guilty. Guilty as charged. But I tell you, it's a nightmare because you cannot go back. And it is a huge, long process. You can't just even go back. They won't bring you back to try and get it. Like, you, even if you show up with your passport and you say, like, this is my property, I completely forgot it. So don't make that same mistake, because I was in an absolute state because all my family's Christmas presents were in there. I had all the presents that I'd been given from other family members that I traveled to from Germany to Dublin. Like, oh my God, don't ever make that mistake again. So 2023, here I'm saying it, I'm not leaving any baggage in an airport. That's it. Some people say it's really not good to do these goals at the beginning of the year because it puts too much pressure on yourself. It sort of makes you think that, well, have I not been sufficient up to this point? But for me, it's more of a refocus exercise. Like, at the beginning of 2022, I wanted to get my presenting qualifications because I'd grown up doing lots of presenting and never had actual qualifications. And I did get my professional diploma in, my diploma in professional broadcasting in presenting this year, which I'm, you know, super pleased about. And it's nice to actually have something like that. And I don't know if I hadn't set that as a clear priority at the beginning of 2022, would I have actually followed through and do it? But I think that's enough. I don't want to like do too much. Like, I feel like there's enough in this world to go on, and self-care and making sure that everyone is happy inside themselves and working through any issues that way, like, that is, I think, the most important thing. Because, I mean, it's true, my other half says if you're looked after, then everyone's looked after. And like, obviously I think there's a more altruistic nature to live life, as in to be more giving, but it is true. Like, if you can try and look after yourself first and make sure that you are okay and all right, then you're less likely to be a burden on others. Not that it's, you know, your family and friends, they want to help you, but it's just about putting that energy aside for yourself. Now, what are your 2023 goals? Let me know. I'm genuinely interested. Thank you so much for following. Please subscribe. Check out my other videos, particularly if you want to not get any travel ideas. Then I've so much up, particularly my Morocco series did really well, and there's just other random places. So yeah, take a look. Thank you so much, and see you very soon. Mwah!